Okay, racking the rest of these ciders today. We've got 6 carboys and a little 3-gallon carboy of some makeup liquid. And what we'll do is we're not going to film the actual racking. I'll just drag the ciders up onto the table, tell you a little bit about them, then rack them off camera and move on to the next. So I've got a bit of a carboy forest going on here. Most of these are ciders. The ones we're concerned about today are the ones that are not under bags. I tried a bit of a theme. I was looking for a lot of infused ciders this year, and I made the choice that this year I was not going to use any honey. So for the primary adjunct sugar, I used cane sugar and light brown sugar, and used the same fruit adjuncts, one with cane, one with light brown, just to see what the difference is. We'll talk a little bit more about that as each cider comes up. All of the ciders I'm going to rack today are from the juice pressed on my cider day from the apples that I myself and with friends have collected and chopped up and pressed. These two are this year's take on a New England style cider. They're the simplest thus far. I have added a ½ pound of raisins to each, as well as 4 pounds of cane sugar and 4 pounds of brown sugar. You can definitely see the difference between the two as the sugar affects them in terms of color. We'll certainly have to see how the taste is affected. And I might choose to add the oak chip and bourbon mixture to these. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll have to see how that goes. I certainly don't need to hurry for that, so regardless, I probably won't do that today. And let's get them racked. Okay, the siphons are going. I'm running a double siphon today for each of these individual racks, just for quickness and expediency. Give my kingdom for a steady cam right now. There it is, going down into the 2 new carboys. And then once these carboys are empty, I'm going to get rid of the empty carboys. Take this little 3-gallon makeup cider carboy and top them off. And I'm going to do that for each of the rackings. Okay, all racked. Let's give it a try. We'll start with the one that I had added the cane sugar to. You can still tell pretty clearly which one got the cane sugar, which one got the brown sugar. We'll see what the taste difference is. Getting some good apple flavor through. It is a little hot. I did put a lot of sugar in there, so not a big surprise that there's a pretty strong alcohol taste. I have no idea if I can taste the raisins. There's nothing in there that there's nothing in the taste that I just experienced that says raisin to me, but I have to assume that at some level the influence of the raisins exists. I just don't know how to notice it. It's delicious. Wish I had another glass of it. Alright, brown sugar. Doesn't have much in the way of legs. Not a big surprise. This isn't a super high alcohol drink, but you can sure taste it. The smell is a little more molassesy, not a big surprise there. Taste isn't quite as sharp as the one with the cane sugar. Again, these are drinkable right now. I bet you if I waited a week for them to clear from this racking and bottled or kegged them, that they would be perfectly fine. But not going to do it just yet. So let's move on. Okay, I'm really interested in these ciders this time around. Same basic theme. We've got the cane sugar edition on the left and the brown sugar edition on the right. But what is interesting to me about these particular ciders is that in addition to the ½ pound of raisins, I also added to each 3 pounds of autumn olive berries, also known as Russian olives. They grow wild around here. I only just learned about them this year. A friend of mine kind of turned me on to them as I was, I don't know, see how well you can see those. I was whining to him that I didn't have any new and interesting fruits to try out in various fermentation products, and he said, well, these autumn olive berries grow wild all over the place, so why don't you see what you can find. And sure enough, now that I know what to look for, I actually found a grove of about 20 to 25 trees right in the town that I live in. So the autumn olive berry, you can see it in comparison to the raisins. The autumn olive berry is actually about the size of a typical raisin, maybe a little smaller. And it's a very astringent berry, but the trees, millions of berries per trees. It's just crazy how prolific these trees are. So what the heck, I picked about 3 gallons of them, and I'm going to be playing with them over the course of the year. Another thing about the autumn olives is I typically freeze my fruit before adding it to the ciders, because that helps break down the cell walls, gets the sugar infused a little more easily into the greater liquid volume. But these autumn olive berries absolutely fell apart when I thawed them and put them into the carboys. So I'm a little worried that my racking cane is going to clog. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of cheesecloth around the end of the racking cane and see if maybe that'll stave off the clogging. So here goes. Alright, so we'll put a little bit of cheesecloth on the end of this racking cane. Got a piece cut out. Just kind of loosely wrap it around. Get a zip tie in there. There we go. And just snip off the end. And hopefully this will keep it from getting clogged. We'll do the next one.